Well, here we are. So, hello guys, it's Josh from the Drop Ball Football Podcast speaking to you tonight, and I'm going to be speaking about the Manchester United-Chelsea game. Yeah, Chelsea fan, loud and proud, but 4-0. I mean, that was quite a spanking we got today from United. So, my thoughts on the game, let's get straight into it then. So, I felt the first half, it could have gone either way, to be honest. First half, I'm being honest, I think Chelsea had very good chances. In the opening few minutes, obviously, we hit the woodwork straight away with Tammy Abraham smashing the ball against the post. And that was before United's goal. And then, obviously, United got their goal thanks to a penalty. Clumsy challenge from Kurt Zouma, definitely a penalty, no arguments about that. And Rashford stuck it away well. Then at 1-0, even at 1-0, United, I say, they didn't really look too comfortable. We put them under pressure. I think Chelsea had a lot of chances, even at 1-0, and we could have easily got back in the game. We ended up hitting the post again, closer to the end of the half, through Emerson. So close. Margins, it was marginal. So we could have easily got back in the game, but we just weren't clinical. That's the reality of it. We just weren't clinical, whereas Manchester United were very clinical. And then start of the second half, even we did okay. We were putting in the effort. We were creating chances again. United had a few chances too, and then their second goal came. Martial tapping in from close range. And another sort of mistake from us giving the ball away. And then we couldn't recover from that. And then straight after the second goal, from kick-off, I think it was 17 seconds or something after kick-off, we concede again. Marcus Rashford getting his second of the game. Through on goal, put through by a lovely pass. I can't remember who it was who passed it. United fans will know, but I didn't really pay attention. I was too busy sort of shouting at Chelsea's defence to notice. But so he was put through, great ball over the top to him, and then Rashford stuck it away, like all good strikers do. So there you go, that was 3-0, 2 goals in literally the blink of an eye. And then once it was 3-0, what can you do? We capitulated after that second goal, and then straight away conceded the third, and then I think it wasn't too long before we conceded the fourth as well. Daniel James, one of United's new signings, brought from Swansea, of course, pacey winger, and he looked very good when he came on. Looked very lively, and scored the fourth goal for United. Another mistake from us, giving the ball away, and they ended up sticking it in the back of the net again, which hurt me. So 4-0 overall. Looking back on it, okay, I'm not going to be biased or anything like that and say, United were lucky, because they weren't. They were very clinical, put away their chances well, and I feel like we got a reality check today, Chelsea. I'm not going to be one of those sort of narrow-minded fans who just gang up on the manager straight away after one game. Yes, it was a heavy defeat. Yes, it's the first game of the season, and a lot of people will sort of looking at Lampard, see how he would do in his first game, but we got to consider it was away to Manchester United. Tough place to go, tough team to face. We've got a lot of young players in that squad, and inexperienced, or not as experienced, as other seasons that we've had. And we weren't able to buy any big name players really, apart from Pulisic, but that was sort of before the ban was put in place. So we've got to keep all these things in mind. Overall, I think even, with the reasons I just stated, I think Chelsea did well, particularly in the first half. Even at 1-0, we created chances. We hit the woodwork twice. I mean, Manchester United, despite them splashing out tons and tons of cash on Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, their defence, you have to say, looked a bit shaky today. I mean, we were able to carve them open at points, and create good chances and come so close to scoring on a number of occasions. So, I mean, come on, I don't think many United fans can argue with that. your defence wasn't fantastic by any means. Yes, it was assured against a quite a sort of young, inexperienced Chelsea front line, but it was a very open game. Both defences, were very sort of carved apart at various stages of the match, and I think both teams had their fair share of chances and possession, and periods going forward where they looked dangerous. So all in all, I think it's a reality check for us, because it just shows us 4-0, if you've got to be clinical. If you don't take your chances, you get punished like that. And that's what we learnt today, more than anything. A lot of young players in that squad. You've got to remember, we lost Hazard. We're pretty much starting fresh. We pretty much are, because we've got an entirely new team, really, to recent seasons, to last season. Got a lot of players still out as well. But, I'm not going to sit here making excuses and stuff. United were very good. I think hitting the nail on the head, you just needed to be clinical. We needed to be clinical in this match, and we weren't, and Manchester United were, as opposed to us. So we got a reality check. That's what happens in the Premier League when you face big sides like Manchester United. They will punish you, and they did. And I feel they did well today with their conversion. Their players looked on form. Martial, Rashford, even James when he came on, they looked really up for it. And assessing the new signings as well, I'm going to give a few words on Maguire. I think Maguire did very well for his debut. Did well, made some good tackles, good interceptions, good challenges. Obviously kept a clean sheet, which will matter a great deal to him and United's back line. Wan-Bissaka did very well as well. Felt he was sort of he started the game, a bit too panicky, a bit too sort of like, I felt like he was so keen to impress Wan-Bissaka. So he started the game, a bit sort of all over the place, but he eventually got himself more assured, and throughout the game, he really solidified his place and made a statement to everyone that I'm here to stick in the first team. I'm a first choice quality right back. So, I feel like the new signings for United did quite well. Christian Pulisic obviously made his debut for Chelsea coming off the bench. Didn't do too badly, showed a lot of promise, a lot of pace. I mean, there was one moment where I think Pulisic was sort of helping out the defence, and he was facing his own goal, but he managed to sort of skip away from a player, like really speedy. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him, because he's a very quick player. Obviously, he did lose possession for one of the goals, but I don't think he can be entirely to blame for that. It's so poor, the fact that the ball just went over the top straight away from the kickoff as well, and then we let Rashford free. So I don't really blame Pulisic for that. I think he did very well overall. So if I was to give him a rating, I'd probably give him an 8 out of 10. Pulisic. So I think that's quite promising for Chelsea. We have obviously got players to come back as well, like Loftus-Cheek and Hudson-Odoi, Willian, Kante at full fitness, and Rudiger. I felt like Rudiger would have been awesome today for us, because at the back we had Kurt Zouma and Andreas Christensen. Now, I'm a fan of Christensen. I think Christensen's a good defender. Makes good choices sometimes. But then again, he's still young, he's still learning. Kurt Zouma, I wasn't impressed with him today. He was, obviously he gave away the penalty with a stupid challenge, left his leg out, and very, very, dozy to do that. Definite penalty, no arguments about it. So Kurt Zouma has got a lot to learn. He's got a lot of work to do, ironing out those mistakes. Because he's had a few experiences on loan, and he did. People forget it, but he did pretty much play for Chelsea for like almost a full season before he got injured. People don't really remember that, but he did, and it was an injury against Man United, I think, where he actually sustained like a knee problem, and that sort of kept him out of the first team, and then he was sort of sent on loan to a few clubs, and. But before that, he was in the team, and I feel like by now, Kurt Zuma should have a bit more experience and a bit more know-how on what to do in the box and what to do defensively. And today I was very disappointed with him because he was all over the place for me, and he didn't really impress me. So I'm looking forward to having Antonio Rudiger back in the squad because I think he'll bring a bit more stability and leadership to that back line, along with Azpilicueta, who I thought had a good game today. I was impressed with Azpilicueta. I hope people don't, straight away jump on Lampard and be like, oh, Lampard out. I'm not having this. It's the first game of the season. It's a very tough first game to have in the season, away at Manchester United. Obviously, new signings there, want to impress, new season. So it's a very tough ask for Lampard and his side. But as Chelsea fans, we just got to accept reality. It's a new start. It's pretty much a fresh team. So we've got to give them time. We've got to allow time for them to sort of gel. Obviously, losing Hazard, we relied on him a lot last season. I'd much rather have a team that gels together than relying on one individual who will guarantee get you goals. That's what we did with Hazard last year. But this year, it's a young team. We're going to need time to gel all together. But I definitely saw promise today, definitely. And I don't think many people can argue with that. You've got to admit that, Tammy Abraham showed good signs today. Showed signs where it needs to improve as well. There was one moment early on where the ball was played across and Tammy Abraham was too slow to get on the end of it. It was right in the middle. I think if he got on the end of it, he would have scored. But he wasn't there quick enough. That's down to experience. The more times he plays as centre forward, he will pick that up. And obviously he hit the post. He was quite instinctive with that strike, which impressed me. Mason Mount as well. He did very well. I have to say, Mason Mount, he had a good, debut in the Premier League. Good run out, and looking forward to seeing more of him. So, there was definitely promise, and like I said at the start of this video, we could have easily been level, if not in front, during the first half, because we had that many chances. I think we had more chances than United. United got their goal through the penalty, but other than that, I think Chelsea looked more threatening throughout the first half. I really do. And then second half, it carried on in the same vein until we conceded the second goal. And then once we conceded the second goal, we capitulated. And I think that was down to inexperience. We dropped our heads. We didn't have the calmness that was needed in that moment to be like, look, let's settle down, lads, start again, 0-0. We just conceded the second goal, and then from the kickoff, ridiculous, 3-0, game over, if it wasn't already. So, to summarise, I've seen promise today. I think 4-0 doesn't reflect the game as a whole. I think 4-0 is quite harsh. I think honestly it was probably a 2-0 match, but then because we've got a young squad, as we say, we dropped our heads once the second goal went in, and that's where the third and fourth came from. But 4-0, very good result for United. I think they deserve to win the game because they were more clinical, simply for that fact. I don't think that we were outplayed by any means. I think that we were right in there. We could have easily got ourselves a goal, if not been in front at one stage. I mean, Emerson, if you look at his chance when he hit the frame of post and crossbar at the end of the first half, I mean, if that had just gone fractions to the right. But anyway, we can't sit here talking about ifs and buts all day long. But, it would have been so different had that gone in. But United played a good game, very assured. I think it mainly came down to the fact that Chelsea, as I say, youth, inexperience, will take time to gel. So I'm not really too disappointed. I'm not really going to be like Lampard out after this. I'm not furious. I'm disappointed with the goals that we conceded because if you look at them, they are from our mistakes, really. Chelsea's own making. But then again, I'm not furious and thinking, Lampard out or anything like that. We've got another tough game on Wednesday. Liverpool in the Super Cup. It's going to be very interesting after today, so we're going to have to pick ourselves up as best we can. But talking more about the game as a whole, I think very good first win of the season for Manchester United. Their players, their fans, their supporters will get great belief from this. Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, very good debuts for the pair of them. However, I do think United will get unstuck against teams who probably are a bit more assured in their defence, midfield, forward line, because had Chelsea been a bit more clinical today, it could have been a different story. Could have been a much more different story, and it could have been a much tighter game. So I think United did very well today. 4-0 obviously shows off a lot and makes them think positive, all positive, but you've got to always consider the what-ifs. And I think, against a side who are probably more clinical, United may come unstuck. But, it's early in the season. Everyone's got time to improve. And in terms of, for Chelsea's point of view, obviously 4-0 doesn't look great on both the team and the new manager at the start of the season. But in my opinion, tough start to the season. The squad's going to need time to gel. I think United deserved to win today, but I think we had some good chances, which tells me that we could be quite promising, and we have got sort of talent there, that just needs a bit more work to it. So yeah, so that's my review today of the Manchester United-Chelsea game, and I shall see you guys very soon. We'll probably do a video tomorrow night reviewing the entire Premier League opening weekend schedule, and also a video on Wednesday. I think I'll do for the Super Cup, or after the Super Cup. So thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed my review, and we will see you soon on the Drop Ball podcast. Cheers, guys.